Hello viewer and welcome. My name is Chris and I am one of the developers behind Compositio. And in this video, we will take a deep dive into Compositio and demonstrate to you some of the features that make it such a powerful tool. Without further ado, let's begin. At a high level, Compositio is a software as a service tool used by teams to collaborate the management of a firewall. One team member submits a change request, another team of people review it, and maybe the primary firewall administrator validates and publishes these changes to the firewall. All of this within Compositio. Additionally, quickly create and modify firewall rules in a feature-rich drag-and-drop fashion. Compositio is capable of supporting many different firewall platforms. In this video, I will be using Checkpoint. Let's begin by creating a new rule request for our firewall. In this example, let's pretend we want a certain developer to have access to a certain network. We'll add a new rule. In the Object Explorer, we find all of our existing Checkpoint objects. Let's find the developer that we want. We'll search for dev, mobile dev 1, and let's drag that into the source column of our rule. Next, let's add to our destination column. Let's say mobile dev 1 needs access to the developer net. Let's configure some more advanced settings. We'll set the action to accept. We'll choose a layer from our available layers and position this rule, let's say above some section. Now let's say I have a second rule I'd like to request, and it shares the same action and layer as the first rule. Well, we can duplicate the first rule to save us some time creating the second. Let's also add some services. We can drag and drop from cell to cell, and if we hold the Alt key, we can copy and paste from cell to cell. With the easy access to our objects, drag and drop, and other features, Compositio makes requesting rules not only quick and easy, but also enjoyable. Let's take a look at another feature of Compositio, the review process. Here we have a rule that has been requested. As one of the assignees of this ticket, I have the ability to review the rules. In the Options menu, I select Review, and Compositio will check our existing rule base and find any similar rules. If any of the existing rules are a close enough match to the one that I'm reviewing, we may want to modify and merge into one of the existing rules, rather than creating the one that I'm reviewing as a whole brand new rule. Here we see there are 4 rules, each with at least one matching source, destination, or service. We can click Show Merge Results and see what each rule would look like if we were to merge into it. Since this rule, Application Server, would only require us to add one object into sources, I think it's a good decision to merge the 2 rules into one. We've seen how rules are requested. Now let's show how we can request new objects that, once published, will make their way into the Object Explorer. Here in the Object table, let's click the Add button, which presents us all the available objects for creating. I'm going to create a new host. This will open up the configuration panel that we saw while configuring advanced rule settings. This time, the shown fields are for a host object. I'll set a name for the host, an IPv4 address, and click Submit. Now in our object table, we can see this request contains a new object. We can hover it and quickly get the details of its configuration. As I mentioned, Compositio has the ability to work with and modify existing objects and rules as well. In the rule table, we can click the Options menu and select Import Existing. We'll select the checkpoint layer of the rule we're looking for, and then select a rule. From here, we are able to change and configure the rule however we would like. To modify an existing object, we simply double-click the object inside of the Object Explorer. The configuration panel gets opened. We can make any necessary changes and submit them. Once the request is reviewed and ready to go, we can hit Apply. Behind the scenes, this will perform a validation command within Checkpoint before it publishes anything. If the Checkpoint validation finds that the configuration is invalid, Compositio will let us know and no changes will be published. If the validation is successful, Compositio will publish the changes to Checkpoint. Here in Checkpoint Smart Console, we can see our changes have successfully been published. Thank you for watching.